निताय गौर हरि बोल। गौर प्रेमानंद की जय।
नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारि। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna devotees in the temple room, Hare Krishna devotees online. So thank you all for joining. Today we have a very, very special guest. His Grace Vijaya Prabhu. He has been with us for the last few days, giving wonderful classes. Today we requested, devotees requested Prabhu to speak on pure devotional service, Ananya Bhakti. And Prabhu is going to share his, he is the emblem of pure Bhakti. So he's going to speak his realizations and wisdom today. So we are very fortunate. Let's welcome Prabhu by loudly chanting Hare Krishna mantra one time together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Over to you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari.
Jaya Gopi Jan Vallabha Girivardhari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari.
Jaya Gopi Jan Vallabha Girivardhari.
Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Vrajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Vrajana Ranjana
Jamnati Ravanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamunati Ravanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jayo Radha Madhava Kunjabihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari
Jayo Radha Madhava Kunjabihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari
Jaya Gopi Jan Vallabha Girivardhari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari
Jaya Gopi Jan Vallabha Girivardhari
Solanandana Vrajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Vrajana Ranjana
Yasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Vrajana Ranjana
Jamuna Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada. Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora, Haribo, Nitai Gora, Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora, Haribo. Go, Premanande, Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Pravidakacharya. Asta Jasa the Shishi Maharaj, Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki. Ananta Gaura Vaishnava ki Jai. Namacharya, Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Prem Sikha host Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Samakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan ki Jai. Shimaya Panavidam ki Jai, Gangamaya ki Jai, Jamunamaya ki Jai, Tosadevi ki Jai, Bhakti Devi ki Jai, Samaveda Bhakti Mani ki Jai, Transcendental Book Distribution ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Go Premanandi, all glory some of devotees, all glory some of devotees, all glory some of devotees, all glory, Shishi Guru, Shri Guru. So maybe somebody can bring over the book, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 23. Madhya Lila, chapter 23. We'll read from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So this is the section of the Chaitanya Charitamrita where Lord Chaitanya is speaking to Sanatana Goswami for 2 months. He got the mercy. So here, this verse, Lord Chaitanya is explaining about devotional service. He said, Kshanti Vyartha Kaladvang. If you have a device, you can repeat. Kshanti Vyartha Kaladvang. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 18 and 19. Chapter 23, 18 and 19. Kshanti Vyartha Kaladvam. Bharaktir Manasunyata. Asabandha Samudhanta. Namagane Sadaruchi. Asaktista Ganakyane. Pritistad Vasate Stale. Ityadayo nubhavasyu jata bhavan kuvejane. Translation. Here we'll go for the word for word. Shanti, forgiveness of Yatakaladvam, being free from wasting time. Varakti, detachment. Manosunyata, absence of false prestige. Asabandha, hope. Samutkanta, eagerness. Namagane, and chanting the holy names. Sada, always. Ruchi, taste. Asakti, attachment. Tat, of Lord Krishna. Guna Akyane, in describing the transcendental qualities. Priti, affection. Tat, his. Vasati stele, for places of residence. The temple or holy places. So sometimes devotees think, well, you could, the only holy places are in India, but this is also a holy place. Wherever the deity is being worshipped is also a holy place. So therefore, some devotees, they don't go to the holy places. When they know they're leaving their body, they just stay at the temple. And devotees there, temple, deities are there. Iti, thus, Adaya, and so on. Anubhava, the signs. Syu, are. Jata, developed. Bhava ankare, whose seed of ecstatic emotion. Jane, in person. Translation. When the seed of ecstatic emotion for Krishna fructifies, the following 9 symptoms manifest in one's behavior. Forgiveness, concern that time should not be wasted, detachment, absence of false prestige, hope, eagerness, a taste for chanting the holy name of the Lord, attachment to descriptions of the transcendental qualities of the Lord, and affection for those places where the Lord resides. That is, a temple or a holy place like Vrindavan. These are all called anubhav, subordinate signs of ecstatic emotion. They are visible in a person whose heart, the seed of love of God, has begun to fructify. This is just a symptom of someone in whose heart it's begun. Love has begun. Just the beginning. Om Gyanatamanandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksham Namitam Dinam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Bhukam Gotavachalam Om Nanghe Jay Gurim Yat Kripa Taraham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Vanchakapa Jivyasya Kripa Vaishnavevyo Namo Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhaktavan Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So it's interesting that the first symptom of one who's began to develop a love for God is that one is forgiving. In this material world, sometimes there's reversals, and sometimes we might get offended by others. Anybody here ever been offended by someone else? Yeah, it happens. It happens in the material world because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Icha dvaisa samudvaina dvandamohena bharata sarvutani samoha sargyanti parantapa. That everyone's born in this world bewildered by the dualities arising from desire and hate. So that's the nature of this world. We're not born in this world as pure devotees, I don't think, right? We're born with material desires and all kinds of misconceptions and desire and hate. So forgiveness is very important. And we learn forgiveness from Krishna himself. You know, so many people offended Krishna, like Sisupal. Sisupal was such a rascal. Before he could actually even practically learn how to talk, he was blaspheming Krishna. Yeah. He was so envious of Krishna. So throughout his life, he was criticizing, blaspheming Krishna. And then at the Rajasuya sacrifice, he was criticizing Krishna. And there's devotees of Krishna there. And great devotees like Bhima was there, and Sahadev and Nakul and Arjuna. And they all wanted to kill him. But Krishna, he gave a surgical operation on Sisupal and with his chakra Sudarshan chopped off his head. But he got liberation. Not only did he forgive him, but he got liberation. Amazing. So all these demons that tried to kill Krishna, they all got liberation. Putana was the first demon to try to kill Krishna. And she got such a high liberation. She went to Goloka Vrindavan and became Krishna's nurse. I mean, that's pretty liberal. Krishna's very forgiving. So we should also be forgiving. Now it's one thing to forgive, but it's more difficult to forget. So therefore it's to forgive and forget. Because we're born in this world with so many flaws. You know, sometimes we offend others, and sometimes we're offended. But the golden rule is treat others as we would like to be treated. So we shouldn't offend others. And if someone offends us, we should be forgiven. That's a big thing in relationships. Tolerance. Big thing about relationships we have. Sometimes, familiarity breeds contempt. Yeah. So we have to be tolerant. So Kshantya Vyartha Kalatvam, we're to be forgiving. That's the first sign. Then, not wasting time. Vyartha Kalatvam. Time is so valuable. Chanakya Pandit says you cannot buy back 1 second of time, even with all the wealth in the world. But we waste time in so many ways. Now we have all these devices and computers and social media. I was given a class about this in Russia. And one lady, she said, sometimes she spends 8 hours in front of the Facebook in a day. So that's a big waste of time. And I mentioned this at another class in Europe, and one lady said, "Oh, only 8 hours? Only 8 hours." Big waste of time. There was this, in 1970, Prabhupada went to Los Angeles, and just at that time they had just come out with telex machines, which is the beginning of, before they had fax and all this, and it was telex. So devotees said, Prabhupada, we have this is a new machine, new invention. We could send a message to New York temple, for instance, and they can immediately respond. And they said, Prabhupada, would you like to see how it works? Mm-hmm. All right, let's see what you got. Let's see what toy you have here now. So they sent a letter to New York saying, please respond. Signed, Los Angeles. And there was no response. But then they figured, they didn't know Prabhupada's here. Srila Prabhupada is standing next to the telex machine. Please send a response immediately. Hare Krishna. And immediately a response came back, Jai Srila Prabhupada, we're looking forward to you coming to New York University. So then the devotees asked Prabhupada, should we use this in ISKCON? And Prabhupada gave an interesting response. He said, no, because you'll just do prajalpa. And sure enough, there's a lot of prajalpa going on the social media with devotees. So time is very valuable. Prabhupada said, you have time? Then chant Hare Krishna. Read the books. Don't waste time. Time is too valuable. And we only have so many moments in this lifetime. We think we have a lot of moments. We think we have a long time. We don't know though. Like Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he was just in Mayapur, and he was driving, to the airport, and accident, left his body. Also, Bhakti Charu Swami had that COVID. He got COVID unexpectedly, left his body. So many. But we never know. Very dangerous here on the streets. What is it, about 40,000 people die a year, something like that? Accidents. There's one, I found one survey that, or one statistic, that about, I think it was about 800 people a year die from falling off their bed. You think it's safe on your bed, right? I don't know, they fall over and hit their head or something on something. Devaramrita Swami, he fell off the bed and broke his arm. He didn't die, but he broke his arm. I mean, that's like, it's pretty heavy even. Just fall off your bed and break your arm. So just laying in bed, they have that saying, danger at every step. There's danger at every roll. You got to be careful when you roll over. You could leave your body rolling over. And I think about 200 people die from trying to make toast. Because the toast gets stuck in the toaster and they get a fork and they try to get it out with a fork. And, a dangerous place in the material world. We never know. One friend of mine I used to distribute books in the airport in Miami. I had workers that were friends. One of the workers said, yeah, his wife bumped her knee on a bedpost, got a bruise there, and 6 months later she left her body, got cancer on that spot. Amazing, huh? Like, these bodies are so vulnerable. So, yeah. Vashantir Vyarthakat Varaktir. Varaktir means detachment. As we advance in Krishna consciousness, we become detached from material things. Just like when we were children, we were all children. Us men used to play with cars and little toys, and girls had dolls. But then as we grew up, then we became detached from those things. And then we became attached to more sophisticated things, more sophisticated sense gratification. But we have to give that up also. We have to get a higher taste. And the higher taste is devotional service. So we should hanker, we should pray for that higher taste, that desire to just focus on serving Krishna and pleasing Krishna. And once we get that, then we won't be attracted. When we get that higher taste, we won't be attracted anymore. Just say, no, don't play. Don't play. Just like Bilva Mangala Thakur, he was son of a wealthy man, and very degraded. He would see this prostitute regularly, and his father had passed away, and he was there at the ceremony. But then he wanted to see this prostitute, but it was raining. But he thought, anyway, I'll get there. It's raining, and it's pouring down rain, and he's got to cross this river, but the boatman's not there because it's raining. So Just grabs on. He thinks it's a log, but it's actually a corpse. He's holding on to this corpse to get across to get to this prostitute. Then he finally gets across, and she thought, well, he's not going to come tonight, so she locked the gate, and he's like, oh God, now we got to climb the gate. So he's trying to climb the gate, and he climbs, he grabs onto a snake, and finally he's able to get over the gate, and he goes to the door, knocks on the door, and she's like, I cannot believe. She said, I cannot believe you're here in this weather. She said, if you had so much attachment for Krishna that you have for me, you'd be a pure devotee. And it just like, when she said that, it was like, because he grew up a Hindu also. But when she said that, it was just like a light went off. And he turned around. And that was the beginning of his devotion. Just by, actually Prabhupada says that she was his guru. Now, I don't know if that means that in a previous life, because it said that the guru, he's eternally one spiritual master, or she was just like a Shiksha guru, but Prabhupada mentions that. So, immediately upon hearing that from the prostitute, you could take knowledge from a dirty place. So he left, and he became, actually what he decided I'm going to go to Vrindavan. I'm going to take shelter of Krishna. Such determination. But on his way to Vrindavan, he saw an attractive lady. And because of his past experience, he became attractive. And he's following her. He went to her house, and the lady says to her husband, this man is following me. Now he's from a Brahmin family, this degraded Brahmin family, this person who was following the girl. So, amazing culture. He thought, well, he wants to enjoy with you, that's all. So he went in the room with her, and he became so disgusted with himself. He said, Mataji, please give me your hairpins. And he plucked out his eyes. That must have been pretty dramatic. Imagine, she's sitting there, and all of a sudden this person plucks out his eyes. Blood all over the place. I'm sure she made a pretty big scream when hearing that. I'm seeing that. But from then on, it was just, it must have been pretty hard to get to Vrindavan then. She had to keep asking people, where's Vrindavan? Where's Vrindavan? But he became such a great devotee. He became such a great devotee. To this day, his songs are sung. And Prabhupada would so often quote Bill Mangala Thakur. And there's a famous, anybody know there's a famous verse actually by Bilva Mangala Thakur that I know, but I can't. You know what? You know any famous verse? Huh? Yeah, I can't. Maybe it'll come. Krishna is the source of our remembrance and forgetfulness. So, yeah. We become detached from hearing. We hear, just like I read the Bhagavad Gita, and I became attached to following the instructions of Krishna. And I became detached. See, the more we become attached to Krishna, we become detached from material life. Therefore, it's so important to hear. From hearing comes understanding, right? The more we hear, the more we understand the absolute truth, and we become detached from this illusory world, and become attached to the absolute world, Krishna consciousness. So therefore, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, hearing regularly, And Kapila Dev says, hearing for a long time. We have to hear for a long time. And from this hearing, then this cleanses the heart. Prabhupada said this process of bhakti yoga is it's a process of removing all the junk from our heart and replacing it with Krishna. Just like when they renovate buildings, old buildings, they call it, what do they call it? What do they call it when they take it all out? Take everything out. Wow, yeah. Well, Krishna's, I'm forgetting all these things. Anyway, taking everything out, taking all the nonsense out, and then filling it with Krishna. And there's a lot. There's a lot to hear about Krishna. We have the Srimad Bhagavatam. We have the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavad Gita, so many nice books. So replace all the nonsense. Like the mind, it's very sensitive. It's like the eyes are very sensitive. Anything gets in the eye, it's such a disturbance. Isn't it? Such a disturbance. Sometimes you have to get some water and wash it out. For the mind, it's also very sensitive. But what goes in, it leaves impressions. Sometimes for 40, 50 years, isn't it? I mean, now I'm 69, and I have, impressions of things that were said or done or I heard, 60 years ago. So these impressions stay in the mind. So we should be careful. What goes in the mind? What we hear, what we see, also the impressions in sight. So we have to Krishna-ize our mind. Prabhupada said this is the mental culture of Krishna consciousness. The mental culture of Krishna consciousness. Thinking of Krishna, Krishna says, always think of me. Become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. But she'll come to me because you're my very dear friend. Always think of me. We got to think of something. Mind, you can't stop thinking of something. Just like sometimes you meet people, you might have met people that their meditation is they just want to clear their mind. No thought. Not possible. Because that's also a thought. Clearing my mind, gotta clear. No, that's a thought. And then you're going to think of something else. Always you're going to think of something. So better think of Krishna. We have this nice mantra, Hare Krishna mantra, the pastimes of Krishna, association with the devotees. Satam prasanghang mama virya sangbado, bhavanti vitkarnam sayanakata, ajosnat asavavarga vartani, shradharvati bhakti anukamishati. The devotees of the Lord, they derive great happiness in hearing about Krishna in the association of other devotees. And this is very pleasing to the ear and to the heart. And by this hearing, one gains great faith in Krishna. Like Prabhupada, he was preaching so much. So from devotees hearing from Prabhupada, they gained great faith in Krishna. They gave up all their sinful activities. Prabhupada thought, when I go to America and I tell them no gambling, no intoxication, no meeting, no illicit sex, they're going to say, Swamiji, go back home. He thought. But then he was so surprised to see the youth, in the prime of their youth, the flowers of the country, giving it up and serving. There was a saying in America, before Prabhupada went there, don't trust anyone over 30, because that was the old generation. Fuddy-duds. But Prabhupada shows up, he's more than twice that, 70 years. And so many youth are giving their life to him. Thousands. Why? Because he had this purity. He was attached to Krishna. He was detached from material life. Actually, he said there was never a moment when I was not thinking of Krishna. So he didn't have anything to get detached from. He was always attached to Krishna. But we're also being given this opportunity to be attached to Krishna. We can't give up attachment. You got to be attached to something. But better be attached to Krishna than Maya. Because if we're attached to Maya, then we get the kick. We get the kicks of Maya. If we're attached to Krishna, eventually we get the embrace of Krishna. So which do you want? Do you want the embrace of Krishna or the kick of Maya? I think we want the embrace. Huh? So, Kshantiya Vyartha Kala Varaktir Manasunyata. Manasunyata means free of false ego. Here we have the false ego. Ego just means identity. So there's the false ego and there's the real ego. There's a real identity. Our real identity is servant to Krishna. Jivera Swarupahoy, Krishnera Nityadan, Krishnera Tatatsa Sakti Veda Vedaka. So this is the position of the divinity, that we're the eternal servants of Krishna. And this is what brings satisfaction to the soul, is to serve Krishna. Either we serve Krishna or we serve Maya. And this brings satisfaction to the heart and to the mind, purifies the mind. It's actually the best thing we can do for ourselves, but we're not only interested in ourselves. Prahlad Maharaj says, Nai vod vijaya paradiratya yavai taranyas tvajirya gayana mahamrita magna chitta. He says to Lord Nrsingadev, he says, I have no anxiety, no problem. Because wherever I go, I'm hearing your glories and pastimes. But he says, but I am concerned about the unfortunate souls who are stuck in this Maya Sukhaya, this illusory world, suffering. They're suffering. So, Prahlad Maharaj, it's interesting that he's very happy, but he's very sad at the same. He's happy because he's so Krishna conscious, and sad because he sees so many people are suffering. So we should have the same feeling that people are suffering, and this is the solution to the suffering. Prabhupada, he was so Krishna conscious. He was also paradukha-dukhi. Sees others suffering and it gives pain. Like he was driving one time with some devotees to go chant japa. And he saw that there was some men on the field and they had a stick, and Prabhupada asked the devotee, what is he doing? Oh, Prabhupada, this is where a man, they're on the field and they have this stick and there's a ball on the field and they're trying to hit the ball in a hole. It's called golf, Prabhupada. Never saw it. So Prabhupada started crying. He said, it's just another way that people waste their time. And there's always more games. It's like we went to that park yesterday and I saw now they have new games that people are playing. Just wasting their time, wasting the human form of life. there was a devotee who would go to Prabhupada's pharmaceutical place. He had a store back in the 30s. And they were friends. They were actually both disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur at the time. And so this person asked Prabhupada, do you have the tonic by which you can give me the love for God that you have? And he says, no, I don't have love for Krishna. He's very humble. But I do have the formula. The formula is Chanadapi Sunichena Tororapi Sahistana Manina Manina Kirtaniya Sadahari. So this verse has this forgiveness in this verse. Once you think lower than the straw on the street, right? Lower, more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respects to others without desiring respect for oneself. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name constantly. So Krishnadas Kaviraj says this verse should be worn around one's neck, strung by the holy name. Very important. Lower than the straw on the street, more tolerant than a tree. That means we don't get offended. If we think we're very low, then how can we be offended? If we're thinking we're something big, then it's very easy to be offended, right? But if we think we're low, then how can anybody offend someone who thinks they're very low? Whatever happens, he'll think, oh, I deserve it. He's not offended. And therefore, there's that famous verse. Actually, this verse, Prabhupada said, is the guide for all devotees of Krishna. This verse I'm going to chant. Some of you may know it. Tattena kampang susamik samano bunjana eva pitam vipaka. Vidbhang povir vidham namaste jivete yamukti pade satoyaba. Prabhupada said this verse is the guide for all devotees. So if you don't know it, how many of you know this verse? Okay. You should all know this verse. It's 10, 14, 8. If you want to take a note. Very important verse. There's no other verse where Prabhupada said this is the guide for all devotees. 10, 14, 8, Srimad Bhagavatam. And the translation is, this is by Lord Brahma, who had disturbed Krishna's play in Vrindavan by taking the cowherd boys, and whoever has a cell phone, maybe you could turn your cell phone off, please. And if your cell phone goes off, then you have to buy a Srimad Bhagavatam set from Satyasara Prabhu. So, Lord Brahma had taken the cowherd boys, taken the calves, and Krishna, who displayed his mystic ability and manifest all the calves, all the boys, exact replicas of the cowherd boys and the calves. Because Krishna knows everybody, so he knows everybody's exact character, everything, how they look, character, everything. So then they, at the end of the day, or actually Krishna, he was in anxiety. Now the boys are all gone, the mothers are going to be upset, so he decided to just manifest as all the boys. So when Krishna went home with these replicas, not really, so they were so happy. They had so much love for more than the boys that they usually have, because it's Krishna now. And they all wanted to have Krishna as their son. So this is a whole amazing pastime. By one pastime, many things are enacted. So they all had Krishna as their son. So then So then Brahma, he thought he may be playing with fire, so he came back, and they were all still there. And then he thought, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. And then all the boys, all the calves, they manifest forearms. And they thought, I'm really in trouble. So then he started offering prayers to Krishna. And they'll find those prayers, the prayers of Lord Brahma. And one of those prayers is this prayer here, where Lord Brahma says, always seeking your compassion, thus tolerating all difficulties as being due to my own past activities, and always serving you with mind, body, and words, such a devotee is eligible to inherit the kingdom of God. So a devotee thinks whenever there's a reversal, he thinks, oh, Krishna's mercy, I deserved it. So he's not offended. He thinks that this person who's apparently offended me, he's just an instrument of my karma. He's an instrument of my karma. So he's not offended. Okay, no more whispering over there. So, she's a good whisperer, but she's a constant whisperer. So, yeah, we have to be tolerant and forgiving and not waste time. Shantir vyartha varaktir manasunya asabandha. Varaktir manasunyata, free of false ego. And then the next one is manasunyata asabandha. Asabandha means great hope. Great hope that, what is the great hope? That we will become Krishna conscious and go back to Godhead. There's some amazing pastimes that will give us hope. There was an instance where Sivananda Sain was taking the devotees from Navadvip to Jagannath Puri. He would take about 200 devotees. So it took, I don't know how long it would take. How long, Jagannath Puri to Navadvip, how far is that? That's 100, maybe 200 miles, something. So it probably took maybe a month or so, maybe more. And now, back then they didn't have, like now we have nice tents. You can buy a nice tent. And they have nice mats now also. But they're just going through the forest. I mean, it's amazing, and also we have these, you can get cookers with gas, we have all these nice facilities now. I mean, I don't know how they did everything, how they got by, But they would do it every year. So one time they were coming through and they saw this dog. Sivananda Sain saw this dog that was coming along with the devotees. And he just thought, what? Spirit soul, he wants to join us? Come right along. So he became part of the party. And he would take care of him. He would feed the dog. And at one point there was a period where he had to go and he had to take care of taxes. And he told the devotees, make sure you take care of the dog. Feed him, give him some water, and take care of him. Now this is India. He's a street dog. I mean, street dogs in India, hut, hut, generally like, But Sivananda is saying, no, Vidya Vinaya Sampane, Brahmane Havyasasini. He's spirit soul. He wants to join with the devotees. He's part of the devotee party now. But when he got back, no dog. So he asked, did you take care of the dog? Sorry, we were all busy. He thought, oh no, the dog has left. So he told the devotees, go find the dog. He sent out a crew of men, find the dog. He's part of the party. It's amazing. Such a great devotee. Sivananda is saying. So they couldn't find him. When they got to Jagannath Puri, the dog is in Lord Chaitanya's room. And Lord Chaitanya is throwing coconut. And the dog is catching. Imagine. And then Lord Chaitanya tells the dog, chant Hare Krishna. So the dog is chanting Hare Krishna. This is Lord Chaitanya's mercy. And then, at the end of the day, he went back to Godhead. Now, when Shivananda Sen came to Lord Chaitanya's room, he saw the dog there. He paid obeisances. He paid dandavats to Lord Chaitanya, then to the dog. Because he's getting the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. The next day, Shivananda Sen went and asked him, where's the dog? Lord Chaitanya said he went back home. So this gives us hope. A dog went back home. So we get the mercy of a devotee, and Krishna's pleased. And take you back home. Another instance, amazing instance, was Amoga. Amoga was the son-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Now, this is another instance of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He was one of the biggest Mayavadis in India, famous Mayavadi. But he became a devotee. Chanting, dancing. Became a great devotee by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Now his son-in-law was a big rascal, very envious of sannyasis, of Lord Chaitanya. So what happened was, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he invited Lord Chaitanya for lunch at his home. And they made a nice big feast for Lord Chaitanya. So this Amoga was such a rascal that Lord Chaitanya was at the door with a stick to guard against this guy. I mean, I don't know how he got that reputation. I mean, generally a son-in-law is like a son, isn't it? In India, if you have, your daughter has a husband and he's a son-in-law, he's like, they become close, isn't it? Like a son, isn't it? But not this boy, not Amoga. He was a rascal. He had a stick to beat him if he comes and even slightly offends Lord Chaitanya. So his wife was serving out prasad to Lord Chaitanya, and then she became Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya could see she needed some help, so he became a little lax on his guard duty, and he went and he started helping. He was serving out, but then Amoga just happened to peek his head in, saw the prasadam, and he said, "What is this? What kind of a sannyasi is this? This is enough for 10 people, and he's eating all this. What is this?" And when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya heard that, he looked at Amoga, and if a glance could burn someone to death, that glance would have burned him to death. So he saw that glance of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and he thought, "Oh, I better get out of here." So he went running, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he got his stick and he went chasing him to beat him. Of course, an old man, he couldn't catch him, but he wished he would have. He would have beat him. So he went back to his apartment, to his house, and he's begging Lord Chaitanya for forgiveness. "Lord Chaitanya, please come to my home, and this rascal is come and offended." "Oh," he said, "No, it's not a big deal. He's right. I shouldn't be eating so much. I'm a sannyasi." And his wife also felt very bad. They just felt terrible. Imagine God comes to your home and some rascal comes in and offends. So he was so upset, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and his wife. So then Lord Chaitanya said, "It's okay, don't take it seriously." So then Lord Chaitanya went back to the Gambhira where he was staying. And the next day, Gopinath Acharya, who was his brother-in-law, he went to see Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya said, "How is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and his wife doing?" He said, "Oh, they're fasting. They've been fasting ever since that incident yesterday. And Lord Chaitanya said, why are they taking this so serious? It's not a big deal. So then he said, well, how is Amoga doing? He said, oh, Amoga, he's dying. He's dying of cholera. He's on his deathbed. And Lord Chaitanya said, take me to him. And he's running. Take me to him. Take me quickly to him. So he goes to where Amoga's on his deathbed. He says, Amoga, you're born into a very nice Brahmin family. Why have you allowed this chandala of envy to sit in your heart, making it not a nice place for Krishna to sit? So then Lord Chaitanya puts his hand on his chest. Big hand. He says, however, because you're the son-in-law of Sarvamacharya, I bless you that you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And then he took his hand off of his chest, and Amoga jumps up out of the bed, and he's chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And he pays obeisances to Lord Chaitanya. He's begging for forgiveness. My dear Lord, please forgive me. I'm such a rascal. Please forgive me. Please forgive me for my offense. And then he gets up and he's slapping his face. He's not softly like this, but hard. And his face becomes swollen. He's hitting it so hard. This mouth has blasphemed the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he's just slapping and slapping. Now Gopinath is there too. So finally Gopinath, he grabs his arm. Otherwise he's going to kill himself. He became a great devotee. He became a great devotee. He was such an envious rascal. Now, who would think that such a person become a great devotee? By the mercy of the devotee, because he was related to Sarvamacharya. So, by the mercy of a devotee, we get the mercy of Krishna. So, continuing. Asabandha samutkanta. We should be eager, we should be enthusiastic to serve Krishna. Prabhupada said, even if you're not enthusiastic, act enthusiastic, and you'll become enthusiastic. He gave the example, just like sometimes the cars, sometimes a car won't start. I'm talking about standard cars, not the ones we have, the automatic. So what happens is sometimes if it can't start, someone gives it a push, and you pop the clutch. Remember those cars? So Prabhupada gave the example. Someone gives you, you get a push, you get a little help from the devotees. And then you get it going, then you pop the clutch, and then it gets going. So with the help of the devotees, we get some enthusiasm. Dorgame patimandasi skalat pada gatirmu. Krishnadas Kaviraj, he says, my path is very difficult. I'm blind. My feet are slipping in again and again. Therefore, may the saintly devotees help me by granting me their stick of mercy as my support. So we need the mercy of the devotees. Now here's a pure devotee. Great devotee. Lord Nityananda came to him in a dream. Go to Vrindavan, and there you will find all things. And he wrote the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He was so elderly, he can barely write. He was such a great devotee, but he says, my path is difficult. I'm blind. My feet are slipping in again and again. Therefore, may the devotees help me by granting me their stick of mercy as my support. Amazing, huh? Amazing character. Amazing characters in this movement, but we're so fortunate. Amazing devotees. So then, eagerness, and then chanting the holy names. This is the process in this age for purification, chanting the holy names of Krishna. We just have to learn how to do it attentively. Yato yato nischalati manaschanchalamustiram tatastato niyamya tad atmanyev samnaya. Wherever the mind goes, come back. Don't go over there. Come back, the holy name of Krishna. This is the key to the spiritual world. And Prabhupada said, if you're sincere, you're trying hard to serve Krishna, if you can't get in the front door, I have a secret way to go out the back door. Come out the back door. Yeah. Sada Ruchi. We have to get a taste for the names of Krishna. And then Gunakyane, in describing the transcendental qualities and pastimes of Krishna. So many wonderful pastimes of Krishna that we get to hear about. Yeah, just like there's one, you've heard the pastime of the pearl pastime by Raghunath Das Goswami. He tells of the pearl pastime of Krishna in Vrindavan. Now this is the time during Kartik. You know, if you're in India now, during Kartik, it's very busy. Who's been here in Kartik in Vrindavan? It's very busy. Huh? A lot of people. So even at the time of Krishna, it was also very busy. Kartik time. And Krishna saw that the gopis, they were making these pearl necklaces. So he said to the gopis, can you give us some of your pearls? We want to make some pearl necklaces for the cows. And they said, we're not going to give you any pearls for your cows. Oh, come on, you have so many pearls. Come, give us some. No. And he said, all right, then we're going to grow our own pearls. Krishna, you don't grow pearls. They come from the ocean. They come from oysters. No, you watch. He went to his mother. Mata, can you give us some pearls? We want to grow some pearls. Make pearls to put around our cows, pearl necklaces. And Mother Yasoda said, you silly boy, you don't grow pearls. They come from oysters. No, Mata, I'm Krishna, Give me some pearls. Okay, I'll give you some pearls. You can go and you can grow some pearls. So she gave him some pearls. And, Krishna's from an agricultural family. So he lines them up very nicely. But he waters the pearls with milk. And he thinks, I'll get better pearls this way. So he's milking the pearls. And after 3 days, there's some sprouts. And he calls over the gopis, look, you see? Pearl plants, you see? You see the sprouts? Pearl plants. And they said, nah, they're just going to be thorn plants. And they said, no. Krishna said, no, you'll see. And sure enough, a few weeks later, pearls. But not ordinary pearls. These pearls were different colors and different sizes, and they were fragrant. Anybody ever heard of a pearl that was fragrant? Pearls aren't fragrant. These are special pearls. And there were so many pearls. So he made pearl necklaces for the cows and even for the monkeys. They had so many pearls. Big bushes, pearl bushes. So then he brought the cows and the monkeys even to the gopis, and you see, I told you, look at all the nice pearl necklaces we have for the cows. Beautiful. You imagine different colored pearls and fragrant even. Krishna's amazing. So then the gopis saw these amazing pearl necklaces, and they said, Krishna, can you give us some of your pearls? You're very bold, my dear gopis. We asked you for pearls, and you wouldn't even give us one, and now you're asking us for pearls. You are very bold. No pearls for you. Oh, Krishna, come on, give us some pearls. And finally they said, Krishna, we'll give you gold for your pearls. And Krishna said, gold. Each one of these pearls has more value than the Kaustuba gem on Lord Vishnu. And you want to give us gold. No, not happening. So then they were bargaining. It goes on and on, bargaining. But Krishna, he's an ocean of mercy. He's very kind. So eventually he gave them pearl necklaces. And they lived happily ever after. This is so many nice pastimes. We have Krishna books, so many amazing pastimes. When we're distributing books, the Hindus, they all have the Bhagavad Gita. I said, well, here, look at this here. This is Krishna book. This is the pastimes of Krishna from his appearance to disappearance. And I showed them the pictures. And we have such nice pictures, describing the pastimes of Krishna. And they're amazed. They're seeing the pictures. They're, all right, we'll take that one. We'll take that one. Just seeing the wonderful pastimes. That's a little hint now for the Hindus. You also do like that, Krishna books? Yeah. Also, Nectar Devotion also has nice pictures, nice pastimes, Nectar Devotion. Another one is Krishna, when Krishna was in Vrindavan. He got up early one time and he played his flute. And that's a sign that the other boys should come. They heard the flute. It was a little earlier than usual, but they got up. They heard the flute. And the cowherd boys come. And Krishna's playing the flute. And when Krishna plays the flute, all the animals come. So the peacocks came. And the does came. And Krishna's the best musician. Can't imagine how beautiful Krishna would play the flute, and the gopis would go to their homes in the dead of night. So attractive, the flute playing of Krishna. So the cowherd boys came, and the peacocks are there, and so many residents of Vrindavan are there. And while Krishna's playing the flute, the peacocks, they started dancing. And the peacocks dance. Anybody here ever see peacocks dancing? Yeah, peacocks dance. Amazing. The only animals that dance, I think. So they were dancing. So many peacocks, they're dancing to Krishna's flute playing. But then at one point, Krishna, he went in where they were dancing. He started dancing. And Krishna, he's Vrindavana Natabara. Krishna is the best dancer of Vrindavan. So not only is he the best musician, he's the best dancer. Nobody can dance as good as Krishna. He's the best dancer. So he's dancing and he's playing the flute. But then at one point, he let the flute go. And the flute is a personality in itself. So it's hovering. And it's still playing. It didn't stop playing. So Krishna, now his hands are free. So now he's really dancing. And the flute is playing. So all the residents of Vrindavan are so ecstatic to hear the flute, to see Krishna dancing. It became a big a concert. Very attractive. So then Krishna eventually he stopped playing, and then a peacock came. The head peacock came and took a peacock out of his body and put it in Krishna's hair and said, Krishna, you're the best dancer of Vrindavan, therefore you should always have a peacock in your head. That's how Krishna got a peacock in his head, because he's the best dancer. So the more we hear about Krishna, the more we become attracted to Krishna. So then, Gunakyane Pritis, you get an affection for living in the holy places of Krishna. Vrindavan, also Jagannath Puri, Mayapur. pastimes of Krishna performed. So, it's a little late. Any questions or comments? What time is it? So by hearing this and following these instructions, then eventually, according to this verse, we attain anubhav. That's the goal. To love Krishna. Sound like a good goal? A high goal. We're shooting for a high goal. Any question or comment?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for wonderful. So, my question is like,
Is it on? Oh, it's on, but it's not on. Okay. Simultaneously one and different.
yes.
Very good.
So, Prabhu, many devotees, they wants to like they are buy a place or house in Vrindavan and Dhams, right? And wants to live their retired life, and they want to leave the body in the Dham so that that is very auspicious and they can go back to God, right? But here you are saying wherever temple is there, that is uh,
Holy place.
a holy place. So
Yeah.
can you comment on?
Yeah. Well, it's one, but it's different because Krishna, he appeared in Vrindavan. It's a very holy place. Now, this is a holy place also. We have the deities here. We have Prabhupada here. But there's also so much nonsense going on around. So it's not as concentrated as like Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri. This is more of a concentrated holy place because all the pastimes of Krishna are there in Vrindavan, and the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya are there in Mayapur, Navadvip area. So Prabhupada encouraged devotees to, at the time when if possible, if they can go to Vrindavan, to leave their body, it's best because you go back to Godhead. If you leave your body in Vrindavan, although I haven't heard that if you leave your body in the temple, and we don't, of course, none of you live in the temple either, no. Right? So that's another thing. Maybe there's a pujari. Anybody live here? No. Okay. So, yeah, it's a concentrated holy place. Vrindavan, Mayapur. So if possible, many devotees are leaving their bodies in Vrindavan. And they're going back to God. So if, and Prabhupada also, he had that example. He left his body in Vrindavan. He was actually he was going to go to Gita Nagari. But he got as far as London, and he thought, no, I can't. It's not going to happen. So then they took him back to Vrindavan. And it's amazing. He was still translating, practically to his last breath. And one doctor said that because he saw his condition, the skin was rubbing against his nerves. He said anybody else would be in excruciating pain. Any doctors here? Yeah, and that's what the doctor said. Because, ourselves, there's some meat, there's some flesh there in between. But there's nothing there. Prabhupada hadn't eaten like six months practically. But he was giving such nice purports. You could read them. 13th chapter is the last chapter he did in the 10th canto. Wonderful. So lucid. So, yeah. That's what I hope for. Leave my body in Vrindavan, the holy place. Anything else? Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. With the association of devotees, low-loving person like me, we can get a love of Krishna. But my question is, what should they be looking in us? The
What should-
devotees will be looking in me.
I don't understand.
With the association of devotees, you said we can get the love of Krishna.
Yeah.
But what will be the devotees looking in me?
What will the devotees be looking in me?
Qualification.
Qualification. Well, according to what happened to Amoga, he had 0 qualification. And the dog, that's why I gave these examples. The dog had 0 qualification. He's a dog, he's a street dog. What can his possible qualification be? And Amoga, he's envious he's criticizing Lord Chaitanya. No qualification.
But somehow he is connected to the...
But he's connected. Therefore, we have a spiritual master. Are you initiated?
In Sri Sampradaya, yes.
Okay. So you have a guru, you please the guru, and Krishna is pleased. So we do service for the guru. We also do service for other Vaishnavas. Then Krishna is pleased. We can't go directly to Krishna. Salavo hridayam mayam, salavo hridayam tvaham. He said, the devotee is within my heart, and I am within the devotee's heart. The devotee doesn't know anyone but me, and I don't know anyone but my devotee. So the devotees are very dear. So you have a guru that's very dear, that's very attached to Krishna, then you're in good hands. Okay.
Thanks, Prabhuji.
You're welcome. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, I didn't note much, but a quick summary, Prabhu. So it's a wonderful pastimes and nice Chaitanya Charitamrita sloka you have explained. I wrote two, 3 points very much like not only forgive, we need to forget. Sometimes we forgive on that moment, but still back in our mind it stays. It's amazing point you brought out. And time should not be wasted. Nowadays, like the shorts also came. So 1 minute you can see one particular the event kind of thing. So this is a really waste of time. And we think that it is very less time, but it's keep on going. And detachment, we should desire and pray to get the taste of devotional service. So that is a wonderful point. And yeah, so when we are whatever the activities other than spiritual activities, that will goes in our mind and impressions create. And so we should be very careful what kind of things we are doing. It is not only waste of the time, but it is going in our mind and making impressions. So that is a wonderful point. And one of the Srimad Bhagavatam verse you quoted, and also yato yato nischalarati manaschanchalamastheram tatastato niyama ma atmaya vasham nayet. So you are saying that mind is easily goes here and there, but we are like cognizant and be conscious to bring it back. So that is a wonderful point. And thank you for nicely explaining the pearl growing and other pastimes. It is very sweet pastimes of Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, to enlightening us. We'll show our gratitude by chanting loudly one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra to Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Let's give a big round of applause to Prabhu. We like to pray to you so that you can bless us with your divine association every year, minimum a week. So you shared so much wisdom on how to distribute Srila Prabhupada books. And we are forever indebted for that. And also your time and energy you spent with us the past few days. So we like to request you to please give us an association every year. I'll work with you. Thank you very much for everything. Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna devotees, we have a fruit prasadam. Please take it.